So the weekend is finally here, guys. We've been teasing this quite a lot recently, and it's time. That's the short version. The long version is that we are changing the name of our podcast, or we're actually introducing the proper name of our podcast, should I say. Not only that, but we are going live with our Twitter pages, our Facebook pages, our SoundCloud page, and we are finally going to be downloadable via iTunes, Acast, Podcast Addict, however you get your regular podcasts. We are going to be searchable, findable, and downloadable and listenable. Actually, that last one is very debatable, not just as an English word, just in general. So, James, would you like to give the big reveal of our new name?
All right, yeah, after not very much deliberation, we realised that the Foley James Podcast was a piss-poor name, and we have decided, we were thinking of the sort of theme of going along kind of what our podcast is about, and it's basically about everything, and it's kind of endless in the type of content we provide, the type of topic each episode's about. So we decided on the name, The Bottomless Pit Podcast. That's what we've gone for. That's what we are now going to be known as. If you've been listening to this on YouTube, up until now, you will notice that our YouTube channel has already changed its name, and that is how you can find us from now on.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. As James said, it's the name is kind of testament to the fact that we are open to, and we probably will, talk about pretty much everything and anything. So if you do have a topic for us to talk about, don't hesitate to get in contact.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've done something interesting, if you've got an achievement, or if you've got some sort of interesting stories, or even if it's just you want to hear us talk about a topic, maybe we've mentioned something that we've done or someone that we know, and you think actually go into more detail about that. Get in touch with us. Let us know. Communicate with us. The more two-way this thing works, the better this thing's going to be, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And now you're thinking to yourself, oh, but maybe my story isn't interesting enough. You know what? Get in contact with us and we'll make that decision. No, that sounds a lot harsher than I mean it to be. No, if it's something ridiculous that you've done and you want to get it across, even if you think you can't get a half hour out of it, look at our previous podcasts. We can get multiple hours out of God knows what. And and now you're thinking, oh my God, actually that might not be a bad idea. But how do I go about that? Well, that's what we're here to tell you as well.
These are lovely segues, by the way, Foley.
Well, thank you very much. So, guys, if you want to get in contact with us via Facebook, our page, which if you're friends with myself or James, you will see endlessly over the next week or two. The Facebook page is the Bottomless Pit Podcast. Put that in your search bar and like us, and share us. And a lot of our upcoming things, we'll eventually have a questions bit. So one of us will post, hey, we're recording soon, send us your questions. If you search the Bottomless Pit Podcast on SoundCloud, you'll be able to get all of our podcasts as we release them up there. Our Twitter handle is @the BP Podcast. So that's @the BP Podcast. Are we going to be associated with those oil bastards now?
I thought that, as well, and particularly because our logo is nice and green as well. Yeah. That did cross my mind.
At least ours is green, you know what I mean? It's not like destroying the oceans.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we can say that we are a carbon neutral podcast.
Yes, as far as we can tell. Depends on what we've had for dinner the evening before. Our email address, if you can't fit everything you want to say into a Facebook post or the 140 characters on Twitter or whatever, if you just wanted to be a lot more private, obviously, you can email us. The email address is bottomlesspitpodcast@gmail.com. Once more, that's bottomlesspitpodcast@gmail.com. As well as these guys, we're up on iTunes and all the other podcast platforms. So do subscribe, go to iTunes, leave reviews, leave 5-star reviews for us. We will absolutely read it. I know I'll definitely be reading every review. I'll teach James how to read, and then he'll be able to. And but yeah, guys, share us as well. Subscribe to us, as I said, on iTunes. But our YouTube channel is still going to be going. We're still going to be going strong, posting videos of our podcast. Eventually, we might actually even record one and do a video podcast. It's unlikely, but you never know. Let's not rule anything out for the future. So for the first few weeks, guys, you're going to be inundated in a really, really nice, unapologetic way. They're kind of contradict themselves, really nice and unapologetic. We're going to be in your faces, sharing our podcast, and we'd like you to do the same. Give it a share, whatever platform you're on. Give it a subscription on iTunes, on Acast, on Podcast Addict, and as I said, still on YouTube.
So the first few episodes that we're actually going to be releasing for the first couple of months, we're going to be doing 3 per week. Now that sounds like a lot, but what you'll notice is it's actually going back through the archive that we've already released onto YouTube. However, you might be thinking, well, in that case, I'm not going to subscribe for the first couple of months because it's stuff I've already listened to. The episodes we're releasing on iTunes are almost like re-envisioned. The editing is much better. We've got background music and we've got new theme title. We've got everything there. They're actually a lot more bite-sized and more manageable, I think, particularly with that first episode that we did that was an hour and a half long. We've broken that down into a few different episodes. So you can sort of pick and choose. Yeah, you can pick and choose exactly what you want to listen to. So go back, listen to our best of for the first 2 months, and then we're going to drop back to being once a week again, as we currently are, and we'll be producing new content every week. Alongside that, still on our YouTube channel, we will be still releasing new episodes every week, and as soon as that backlog in iTunes has caught up to the YouTube, then both will be releasing the same episode at the same time each week. Did that make sense?
It does for me, because I know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, no, if you weren't, I'll try and do a shortened version. For the next few weeks, we're going to have 3 episodes a week, re-releasing some of the earlier podcasts that we've done, but they're going to be remastered for this more digital age. The editing's better, there's going to be new sound bits in there. It's going to feel like a different podcast. It really, really is. So if you're thinking, I don't need to subscribe, I've already heard it, remember, guys, you can subscribe and not download. That's still an option. Or what we'd prefer is you subscribe, you download. You don't have to listen then. That's absolutely fine. We just want the downloads.
No, but in all seriousness, just to get the point across of how much it does mean to us and how much it helps us, just clicking on subscribe on YouTube or just liking something on Facebook, the more of those we get, the more likely we are to get featured on the front page of something, or just to get someone who's got a bigger audience to pick us up and maybe share us. And all that sort of stuff is only going to help grow our audience, and that will then not only motivate and inspire us to continue, but it'll also allow us to continue, because it's going to open the door to a whole world of new topics. As we get new people, we're going to get more interaction, and it's going to build itself and snowball from there. So even if you think, I'll not bother subscribing because it just appears in my Facebook feed every week anyway, just do it for us. Really, it really helps. It really, really does.
Definitely. I don't think there's much else we can add to that. Just remember, guys, wherever you are, whatever platform you use for listening to podcasts, or when you're on Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook, whatever, that name again is
the Bottomless Pit Podcast. And with that, let's give you a sneak preview of the new theme music.
The Bottomless Pit. Find us on social media and everywhere you get podcasts.